Hello, my name is Daniel Manley,
And I'm Wanda Cristo.
and we're here to talk about autism spectrum disorders today. This is a condition my son has. That's my son Tom. He suffers from broad spectrum autism high functioning. Now, there's a wide range of autistic disorders, but we are just going to discuss three today. The most common is classical autism disorders.
Which is language delays, social and communication challenges, unusual behaviors and interests, and intellectual disorders.
Now, there's Asperger's syndrome, which has milder symptoms of an autistic disorder. There are social challenges associated with it because they tend to have very unusual behaviors and interests. It gets very obsessed with it. The example I once heard was they are only comfortable talking about one thing and they have to control that conversation completely. Uh, like I said, picture the kind of people you see at Star Trek conventions, that sort of thing, where they want to turn everything to be about the show. This is how they relate to the rest of the world. Now, the only real problem is they typically, while they don't have a problem with communication, it does make it difficult to form friendships because people tend to get frustrated with this sort of thing, but they can hold down jobs. Uh, Now, pervasive development is even milder. It's called atypical autism as well. And this is when people have some of the elements of in the autistic spectrum, but not all of them. And it's even milder than Asperger's syndrome. And this only causes social communication challenges. These people can have jobs, careers. Uh, Now, autism is not a learning disorder. It is a communication disorder. So this is why autistics may have no trouble learning to read, but they are completely unable to regulate their emotion, whereas other people who are mentally challenged would have trouble learning to read, but can be taught. You know, you might be frightening someone. If you get angry, you have to learn to control your temper. Generally, autistic children, if they get stressed out, they can lose control and become aggressive, and this could be a problem with adults, especially with men. They can be very frightening. And now, autistic children can appear indifferent and don't form emotional bonds easily. This can be very difficult for parents because they have to learn to read very minute details. Autistic children don't run up and hug you just because they missed you. Autistic children aren't likely to say, "I love you, mommy." Now, there are other traits of autism, obviously. As toddlers, like we mentioned, they tend to have underdeveloped language skills, usually not speaking until later in life. Sometimes not until they won't even be responding to their own name at 12 months. And sometimes not even speaking until 5. They don't like pretend games at 18 months when most children love them. And they have very unusual reactions. Tom, for instance, got very upset when his sister was singing a song in the car, and he just kept repeating over and over again, "Stop singing, stop singing, stop singing, stop singing," like it was on a loop. But he didn't seem to be getting upset. It just seemed to be his coping mechanism for it. Another time, he got very upset because a boy was sitting upside down at a chair in the playground, and I had to go over and tell the boy, "Yes, I know this is a playground. This is exactly the sort of place you should be allowed to do this, but could you please stop?" And they are also tend to be unable to read social cues like winking or smiling. And they are able to follow very simple instructions. For instance, here's Tom pretending to console me because he beat me at bowling. Now, the causes of autism.
No, it's not vaccination. It's not caused by poor parenting.
There was a time where it was believed that it was caused by lack of stimulation during infancy, but we now realize that's ridiculous. In fact, it's believed, while the exact cause isn't known, it's believed to be genetic, and that means that the periods for development would actually happen before birth. Now, harmful drug use during pregnancy may increase the risk of ASD. Yeah, surprise, surprise, doing harmful drugs when you're pregnant can be damaging for the baby. Now, the treatments, there are many treatments, but because this is such a broad disorder, there's no real catch-all for dealing with the condition. The symptoms are generally treated rather than the condition itself. Like I said, there are numerous treatments available, everything from medication to behavioral conditioning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.